This is Lalita Singh and you are going to study science with me. This is our second video on chapter 4 that is called metals and non-metal. In our previous video we have studied about occurrence of metal, about ores of metals, okay, and properties of metal. We have studied about physical property only, right? Like appearance, ductility, malleability, thermal conductivity, sonority, electrical conductivity, right? Brittleness. Now, in this video today, we will learn about some chemical properties of metal. Okay, we will learn about chemical properties of metal. Now, what is chemical property? When metal react with another substances to produce a new substance. So, the production of new substance with the help of metal is called chemical property of metal. Metal usually exhibit chemical reaction except for a few. Such metal like gold, platinum do not show any chemical reaction because they are non-reactive and thus they are called noble metal. Noble metal in the same manner as the gases are termed as noble gas, right? Now, a chemical reaction is a reaction between two chemical substances under required condition. The chemical reaction are expressed in the form of equation representing contact of chemical with one another. About this, we have already learned how to write the chemical equation. Like in this side of the chemical reaction, the content which is written like metal and oxygen, they are called reactant, and after the arrow, this arrow indicate that the chemical reaction is going on, and after this arrow, at the side of arrowhead, the substances which are kept are known as product, right? So chemical reaction is what? A chemical reaction is a reaction between two chemical substances to produce a new one. Understand? Now let's study about chemical property of metal. So how does it react with oxygen? Any metal, okay, any metal when it react with oxygen, okay, metal plus oxygen, when metal react with oxygen it gives metal oxide, it gives metal oxide. This is the general formula which is applicable for all the metals, so you can just learn this formula. Like when metal plus oxygen, it means we can take any kind of metal. For example, iron plus oxygen, iron oxide, right? Copper plus oxygen, copper oxide. Okay, in this way we can say magnesium plus oxygen, magnesium oxide. In this way we can say that metal when react with oxygen it forms metallic oxide. So to show this reaction we are having an activity number 7. For to perform this activity we need magnesium river, tong, burner, then test tube, then litmus paper, both blue and red, and water. Okay, what we are going to do, we will take magnesium ribbon, okay, magnesium ribbon with the help of tong. You can see this is a tong. Okay, this tong may look like a scissor, but the upper part of this tong is modified to hold the substances. This is magnesium ribbon which we are cutting over here to do the activity. Now with the help of tong we have hold this magnesium ribbon and we have bring it toward the spirit lamp. Okay, now after burning is a process. What? Burning is a process in which the substances burn in presence of oxygen. So when they are burning in presence of oxygen means the substance will react with oxygen. So after reacting with oxygen, the magnesium is what? A metal, and it is reacting in presence of oxygen. So metal plus oxygen is equal to metal oxide. So magnesium plus oxygen should be magnesium oxide. So after burning we will get this type of substance and this is magnesium oxide. Understood? Now what we have to do, we will dissolve this magnesium into water. We will dissolve this magnesium into water and we will check this water with the help of litmus paper. You can see we have dipped a red litmus paper into this solution and the result is like this. Okay, You can compare the color of this litmus paper, the change in color. This is what we have get from the experiment. It means the red has changed into blue color. So this indicate that the magnesium oxide is actually what? Magnesium oxide is basic in nature. Understood? This is the reaction given over here. Magnesium plus oxygen is equal to magnesium oxide. 2Mg, which is in solid state, react with oxygen, which is in gaseous state, forms 2MgO, which is again in solid state. Understand? Phenomena of rusting is very common for us. Okay. We have heard about rusting of iron. Rusting of iron is what? Reaction of iron with oxygen in presence of moisture is rusting. Okay, in the process of rusting, ferrous oxide has been formed. Clear? So, metal like copper, when exposed in air for a longer period of time, there is a greenish coating get deposited over there. There is a greenish coating which is getting deposited over there. Okay, therefore copper vessel become green when they remain out for a very long period of time. You can see over here, rusting of iron get rusted because they are exposed in the air. Understood? Similarly, silver also acquired grayish coating in the air. That is why the shiny smooth silver look little bit blackened after prolonged use. Understood? The reaction is like this. See over here, silver react with oxygen and form silver oxide. Okay, for Ag, Ag is the chemical formula for silver. Okay, and O2. O2 means oxygen. So 4Ag when reacted with this oxygen, they form 2Ag2O. Understood? Silver oxide. What about copper? Copper react with water, carbon dioxide and oxygen to form copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. Understand? In this way reaction take place which result into this green deposition. Now class, over here we are having an activity number 8 to test the nature of rust of iron. Iron is a metal. Rusting of iron is oxidation of iron, means iron become hydrated ferric oxide. Understand? Means what we needed to do in this activity, we need to collect an article which is already rusted, a test tube, water, blue and red litmus paper. Okay, understood? Now we need to scratch the rusted part of the iron. Okay, and then we will dissolve it into water to make a solution, and then we will put blue and red litmus paper into this solution. You will be surprised to know that the red litmus is changing into blue color, but blue litmus does not show any change in color. It means there is change in only red litmus paper into blue, which indicate that the solution was basic in nature. So again it is proven that metals oxide is basic in nature. Okay, metal oxide are generally basic in nature. Understood? Now what about non-metals? When non-metal react with oxygen, they form non-metallic oxide. So this is the general formula for reaction of non-metal. Understand? Non-metal when react with oxygen, they form non-metallic oxide. Now, we can test the nature of this non-metallic oxide by performing an activity. To perform this activity, to know the nature of non-metal, what we need to do? We need to test the nature. Okay, so activity 9 is actually about testing the nature of non-metallic oxide. To perform this activity, we need sulfur powder, a burner, a deflagrating spoon and a glass jar. Along with it, we need a watch glass, water, blue and red litmus paper. Okay, see over here. This is burner. This is sulfur powder. This is glass jar. And this is deflagrating spoon. and over here we are having water in it. Now what we need to do is we need to heat the sulfur on by keeping it on this deflagrating spoon. We have kept, see over here, we are keeping sulfur on the spoon and now we are heating it over the burner. Now after it get heated up, what we need to do, we need to put this deflagrating spoon inside the glass jar and we have to cover it properly so that all the fume coming out of it can be stored in this glass jar. Understand? Now what we need to do, we need to add water in it and we will shake it properly. Okay, we will shake this glass jar properly so that the water can get mixed with the fume coming which has been coming out from the burning sulfur. Now after mixing it properly, we will take a little amount of this solution in this petri dish and we will test it with the help of red and blue litmus paper. After this, when we are doing this activity, after testing it with both of the litmus, you can see that this red has not changed any color, but what happened to blue one? Half of the portion of this blue litmus paper had turned into red. It shows that the nature of this solution was acidic because only acid can change a blue litmus paper into red. Understand? Now, you can observe this activity reaction in the following equations. See, this is sulfur. Sulfur when react with oxygen means non-metal is reacting with oxygen. Okay, when sulfur react with oxygen, it forms sulfur dioxide, which was the fume in the glass jar. Okay, now when we have added water, we have added water to sulfur dioxide because the fume was over there. So the sulfur dioxide when get reacted with the water, it form sulfurous acid. Understand? This sulfurous acid is acidic in nature and that is why it turn the blue litmus paper into red color. Okay, so we can say that all the non-metallic, generally the non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. We talk in general term always, okay, because there may be cases where there is some exception. So generally a metal oxide is basic in nature and a non-metallic oxide is acidic in nature. We can conclude with both of the activities. Right. Now next is reaction with water. Reaction of metal and non-metal with water. How they are going to get reacted. Now again we are having a general formula. When metal react with water, what happen? Either metal oxide or metal hydroxide is formed along with hydrogen. Understood? When metal react with water, it form metal oxide or metal hydroxide plus hydrogen. You can see the activity over here given. Activity number 10 to study the reaction of sodium with water. See, this is how sodium react with water. Okay, to perform this activity, we need a piece of sodium which we can easily cut with the help of knife. So we also need knife. You can see sodium is a metal which can easily be cut with the help of knife. We need a beaker, bottle and filter paper. Understand? Now this is the cutted piece of the sodium. Understood? Now we will fill a beaker with water. Okay, we will fill a beaker with water and we will place the filter paper on top of this water so that the sodium can be placed over there and it can react in proper manner with water. So when we are placing this sodium in water, what will happen? It will burn like this. Understand? It will burn like this. Clear? So sodium react vigorously with water and the reaction, after reaction, the water turn the red litmus paper blue due to the formation of sodium hydroxide. When sodium react with water, the gas bubble of hydrogen gas are also formed. Most of the reaction is taking place inside the water and hydrogen gas is liberated out of heat. you can see the reaction. Sodium is reacted with water to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. You will write it like that: 2Na plus 2H2O is equal to 2NaOH plus hydrogen gas. Okay, sodium is a metal. When it is reacting with water, it is forming a hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, which is basic in nature, and this can be tested easily with the help of litmus paper. It has the capacity to turn red litmus blue. Okay, now you can test the gas produced by burning, okay, with the help of matchstick. If you have been collecting this gas in a test tube, then you can bring a burning matchstick in front of it. This matchstick will burn with a pop sound, and this pop sound indicate that the gas which is collected into your test tube was hydrogen. Understand? Now activity number 11. Activity number 11 is to study the reaction of magnesium with water. Actually, when we place a magnesium ribbon into water, a test tube containing cold water, there will be no reaction. Understand? Now we will place the magnesium ribbon in a test tube containing hot water, and then we can see that this magnesium is reacting with this hot water very slowly, and the reaction can be judged by the observation of bubble formation which is forming inside the test tube. Okay, so how does it react? Magnesium combined with water to form MgO, magnesium oxide, and hydrogen gas. So metal when react with water, it can form magnesium hydroxide, magnesium oxide plus hydrogen. Over here, magnesium is reacting with water to produce magnesium oxide along with what? Hydrogen gas. Understood? Now next is activity number 12, to show the reaction of non-metal with water. When we are putting the sulfur powder in a test tube containing a little amount of water, even after shaking it, we can observe that no bubble formation or heat production is taking place. We can say that there is no reaction. Understood? So we can say non-metal with water does not react. Non-metal does not react with water. Understand? Now next is reaction with diluted acid. See, metal when react with acid, it forms salt and hydrogen gas. This is the general formula that you have to learn. Metal plus hydrochloric acid or any acid is equal to salt plus hydrogen gas. This can be easily understand by activity number 13, that is about reaction of zinc with hydrochloric acid. Let's see about it. So to perform this activity, we need a zinc granule, we need this candle, and beside this we also need hydrochloric acid. Now what we need to do, we will take a test tube, we will put some of the zinc granule over here. You can see zinc granule is already kept over here, and then we will add a little amount of this hydrochloric acid to this test tube. Okay, we will add hydrochloric acid into this test tube. We are not supposed to hold it with the hand, we will use test tube holder. Okay, or we can fix this test tube into this iron stain like this. Now you will observe what? After adding hydrochloric acid, they will react vigorously. Okay, and a lot of air bubble can be seen coming out from this test tube. We will cover the mouth of the test tube with the finger. Understand? To collect the gas inside the test tube. And then later on what we are supposed to do, then we will bring a burning matchstick in front of the test tube mouth, and this matchstick will burn with pop sound. The coming out pop sound indicate that this gas which is coming out from the test tube is hydrogen gas. That the gas is hydrogen gas. Understand? Reaction will be written as zinc plus diluted hydrochloric acid is equal to zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. Okay, means zinc Zn plus 2HCl is equal to ZnCl2 plus H2. Now, activity number 14 is about explaining how non-metal react with dilute hydrochloric acid. To perform this activity, we need hydrochloric acid, sulfur powder, a test tube, and a dropper and a matchstick. Okay, now what we need to do, we will take a little amount of sulfur powder in a test tube and then we will add hydrochloric acid to it and then we will wait for the reaction. You will see there will be no bubble formation. And when you are bringing a burning matchstick on the top of the test tube, there will be no pop sound can heard. Okay, there cannot be heard any kind of pop sound. So we can simply say that there is no chemical reaction is taking place. It means non-metal does not react with dilute acid. Okay, so we can say the general formula for reaction of acid and non-metal is non-metal plus dilute acid is equal to no reaction. Understand? Now, reaction with base. Metal do react with base and they produce hydrogen gas. The reaction is kind of complicated that you will learn about these kind of reaction in the upcoming classes. For now, we are going to do activity 15, which is indicating reaction of metal with base. For this, we need to have two test tube, a marker pen, a magnesium ribbon, an aluminum foil, freshly prepared sodium hydroxide solution and a matchbox. We will take two test tubes, mark them as A and B, and then we will add piece of magnesium ribbon in test tube A and in test tube B we will add aluminium pieces. Okay, now we will add freshly prepared sodium hydroxide, which is basic in nature, to the test tube and we will observe carefully what is happening over there. When we bring a burning matchstick near the mouth of the test tube A, we can hear the pop sound, and when we are repeating the same thing with aluminium foil, of course we can hear the pop sound over there as well. It means the metal react with base to produce hydrogen gas. The pop sound indicate the presence of hydrogen gas. Now next is displacement reaction. As the name suggests, displacement. Okay, it displaces a metal from their salt. Understood? Displacement reaction is a reaction in which more reactive metal displaces a less reactive metal from its salt solution. This type of reaction is called displacement reaction. Over there, one metal with higher strength is displacing the lower metal, okay, from its salt. Clear? This type of reaction is termed as displacement reaction. To understand the displacement reaction, we need to know the strength of metal, which one is highly reactive, which one is low reactive in nature. So for that, you need to learn this table. Okay, you can see in this table we are having potassium at the top and gold at the base. Actually, the one which is present on the top is the strongest metal. Okay, in reactivity series they are the strongest one. As it is descending down from top to bottom, the reactivity the power of reaction is also slowing down. We can say that the least reactive metal is present at the bottom. Understood? This is called reactivity series. From this reactivity series, you will know which metal can displace the other metal. For example, you can see copper is present over here and iron is in the top of the copper, right? Copper is present at the lower section, whereas iron is present in the top region. Understood? Now think about it. If we will add iron to salt of the copper, means copper sulfate, what will happen? You can see this is the iron nail which I was talking about, and this is the copper sulfate solution. Copper is having lower position in the reactivity series in comparison to the iron. So when we are keeping the iron nail inside this copper solution, the reaction will take place and this will happen to the iron nail, the lower part which was dipped inside the solution. See over here, now having a good deposition of copper. Clear? And the solution has turned into this type of green. You can see this was the sample solution of copper sulfate and now it has turned into green color, right? See, when this iron nail was dipped inside the solution, what really happened? Iron is the stronger one whereas copper is the weaker one. So iron displaces copper from its salt solution, so and form FeSO4. Simply iron has kicked copper out from the position and stay over there. In place of copper we have to write iron, so it naturally become FeSO4 and copper is now alone, so it is copper. See, you understand? Now see over here how does it happens. We are having copper sulfate solution, we are having iron nail as well. Now during this reaction iron will displace copper from its salt solution and will form FeSO4, and this copper which is released from the salt solution now will take the left behind space by the iron. In this way, whenever a stronger metal is kept inside a weaker metal salt, what will happen? The stronger metal will displace the weaker metal from their salt. Just the same happen over here. CuSO4 get converted into FeSO4, okay, and copper get deposited on the iron nail. Understand this? About this you will have better understanding by after studying the reaction that is given in the activity number 16. Now, activity number 16 is to study about displacement reaction. So, in this activity, we have taken several solutions with several metal. Okay, to perform this activity, we need 6 beakers containing iron nails, zinc pieces, copper coin, solution of copper sulfate, ferrous sulfate, silver nitrate, and zinc sulfate. Now, we have taken all these 6 beakers and we have named them as A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, now in first beaker we have placed copper sulfate, okay, and in copper sulfate we have placed iron. In the very first one we have placed iron with copper sulfate. Now see, copper in reactivity series is below iron, so obviously iron will displace copper from the copper sulfate. Now in next one we are having copper sulfate with zinc. What is the position of zinc in reactivity series? It is above even iron, okay, so obviously it is above copper. So when we are placing this, what will happen in this reaction? Obviously the copper will again get displaced with zinc, okay. Now in C we are having ferrous sulfate solution along with copper. Copper is having lower position in comparison to iron. Ferrous means iron, okay. So copper will never be able to displace iron from its salt solution. So over here in activity C there will be no displacement reaction, okay. Now in just see over here in beaker D, okay, in this we are having copper in silver nitrate. Silver is at the lowest position of the reactivity series, it means it is the weakest one, okay. After silver we are having gold. So copper is surely stronger than the silver, then silver will be get displaced by copper. Copper will displace silver from its salt solution. Now in E we are having zinc sulfate and iron. Zinc is stronger than the iron. In reactivity series the position of zinc is above iron, so iron will not be able to displace zinc from its salt solution. Where we are keeping copper in zinc sulfate solution, copper position is lower than the zinc, okay, so copper will not be able to displace zinc from its salt solution. So this is what happened during this chemical reaction and you have to write it down in this given table. Okay, over here we are having all the name of the beakers, then initial color of the solution, okay, and then final color of the solution as the reaction is going to take place. Whether the reaction is taking place or not, you have to write it over here, and because why this chemical reaction has been taking place. So you have to write all these things in this table. Understand? Now reactivity series is over. Comparison of property of metal and non-metal, that we have studied, okay, and it is given in the table form, where in the physical property we have learned about lustrous. Metal is lustrous is nature, whereas non-metal is generally dull. Ductility, yes, metal is a ductile substance, whereas non-metal is non-ductile. Malleable, metal is malleable, non-metal is non-malleable. Brittle, metal is non-brittle, okay, and non-metal is generally brittle in nature. Heat conductivity, metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, whereas non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Understood? Now hardness, metals are generally hard except mercury, whereas non-metals are can be hard, can be soft, okay. Now physical state, metals are solid at room temperature, and whereas non-metals are can be gaseous, can be liquid, can be solid. In metals, in case of metal, only mercury is in liquid state, okay. Sonority, so metal produce sonorous sound, highly sonorous sound, and whereas non-metal produce non-sonorous sound. Reaction, metal react with oxygen to form metallic oxide, non-metal react with oxygen to form non-metallic oxide. If we are talking about nature of oxide, so metallic oxide are basic, whereas non-metallic oxide is mostly acidic in nature. Now next is how metals are reacting with water. Metal are reacting with water to form metal oxide or metal hydroxide, whereas non-metal do not react with water. Reaction with acid, metal react with acid to form salt and hydrogen, and non-metal do not react with acid. Okay, this is all about common comparison of property between metals and non-metal. Next is uses of metal and the question answer related to the topic. Okay, this we will do in our third video. Until then, have a nice day everyone.